Hi guys, today I got delivery of this Corsair CV650 PSU unit for my desktop. I'm going to install it in my desktop. I'm currently using a EVGA unit, but I have been facing few issues, so I decided to change that. In this video, we will unbox this unit and install it. As you can see, it is nicely packed and you have all the information on the box itself. So whenever you buy a PSU unit, always make sure that it is compatible with your motherboard. I have a Asus Z370A motherboard, again a custom build. So I have verified and this is compatible with it. But in general, whenever you are purchasing any desktop component, make sure that particular component is compatible with your setup and machine. All right. So I have taken out the components. I mean, you have a guide, a document on the important information, usual stuff. You'll find it maybe with every other damn thing you will buy. And then we have the units, screws. So everything is there, whatever you need to install this. Uh, this is the power cable. There's nothing fancy, but you will get everything you need.
So I have got my PC here right now. As you can see, I have already installed the power supply unit which I got from US. This is EVGA 650. So let me first remove this and then install our Corsair. So uninstalling or installing shouldn't be a big deal. These are simply very easy to unscrew these things. Now, as I will be reinstalling, rather replacing it with another unit, I'll be careful in terms of making sure that I'm not mixing any cables. So before you remove your existing power supply, if you have anything, just make sure that you are paying attention to these wirings, how these are connected, where these are connected. So this is my, this should be, as you can see, the power unit here. So now I have one hard drive here, one hard drive here. So I'm gonna gradually remove all these things and I will replace these wires with them. I will suggest you, if you are doing any replacement, then be very careful with your existing components. So go through them, see what all things you have and how they are connected, especially for the new guys. Because for professionals, they know all the ports, everything which should be connected. But for guys like us, we need to be careful. So you can see that I have a GPU here, then a couple of wires here, then here. So everything should be carefully examined. So first we will put this cable here. So this is your power 24 pin cable next to your RAM slots. So if you go here, let me turn on the flash. So here if you see, we have extra power written on my motherboard, but you will have something similar in your system. So we will go through all these power connections. So if you see, this is coming from behind, so we'll check that later. This is our GPU connector. So now I will be removing this one here, this 24 pin, and then putting a new one here. So this could go from here like this, and then we can plug it in here. So but first I need to remove it. So removing this shouldn't be a big deal. If you see, there are two. So one is 20 plus and then 4p. So if you pull this, it will come off. So now we will be putting this one. So in my previous EVGA unit, as you saw, there was 4 pin extra and 20. So if I remove this and show you, if you see here, this is like this 20 and 4. So if you see in this, you have 20 and 4. So 24 pin, but in a different setup. Whereas if you look at Corsair, here everything is 1. So this 24 pin all together. So I'm gonna put this cable here now. Okay. So be careful. So this is one part. Let's come back here and try to install it. So these are very thick cable, so be careful because it may not be very easy, and when pushing it, it may require some force. So as you can see, you have to install it like this. Okay, so now that one part is done. Now let's focus on this. So this is your PCIe. Okay, so again I'm gonna push it. So for this again you have to just try pressing this one and pull it gently here like this. So it will be here and then you just push it. Now we will take out this wire. So make sure it's not stuck anywhere. So I have pushed it from here. Good thing is that when you are gradually removing these things from here and removing it, you are actually not missing out any connections. You know what all components should have been connected and what all things are remaining. So I will simply put it here. So this is our PCIe. So this will go there. Okay. These cables are really thick and they are not very flexible, so single hand operations are always tricky. So let me push it from this side. Good. So this is our PCIe. Here if you see we have 6. So this will go like this here. So put everything together and try to push it. Sure it's inserted completely. There is no gap. So that is done. Now let's see what all other cables we have. So if we come here, you will see that this here is connected, this cable here is going here, and this one is connected to this point here. So now we need to remove this one. And be very gentle with these things because they can damage your motherboard if you're not careful. So be very careful with this. If you see, these can cut your fingers and there's very little space. So you have to press this thing here and then gradually try to pull it. It should come, but yeah, problem is there is not enough space here. So you will have to wiggle it. So this is your CPU. So now we need to find CPU. So here again you can see that everything here is joined, whereas in my previous cable it was separated. So in a way it's a good thing, you don't have to put 2 cables there. But yes, if your power supply is something else other than Corsair and they are not combined or joined like this, you don't need to worry about that. It will work just fine. So, and when they are joined, I mean the good thing is you can just pushing it around is slightly easier. So if I come here, I will put it here. Remember CPU OV. I mean it could be something else on your motherboard, but if this is CPU, this is 24 pin, then it should be at this angle somewhere here. This is ASUS motherboard, so I believe the layout could be same for these motherboards, but for other brands this layout could be slightly different. So please go through the specs and manuals. So let me just, and again you have to be careful with this particular, because this one is definitely not a user friendly place. Of course inserting should be easier than gone. Let me just pull it outside. So yeah, make sure that it's properly installed, otherwise I don't know if you can see it, but this is properly installed, so there is no space there. All right, let's try to find another replacement. So what is this? This is, I believe, lighting and this fan. So you can see we have a couple of fans here. So what do we have here then? I believe this should do. So here I think now we need to replace this one. This is your fans, so 12-watt input, so it should be. So we may have to press something here. So I'll try to unplug this one here. So I have taken this from here and connected it there, so it should work. Now this is the cable here which is connected to this, so we need to handle this part. So this here is simply connecting this C hard disk to motherboard, so we don't need to do anything with that. We just need to look at these cables. What else we have here? I'm trying to figure out if there's something else other than, so if I pull it here, does that mean we only have one connection here? So if I remove it, then one connection here. So now if I remove this from here, it seems we are all set. So let's try to connect this one with this. So this one here, so this is the power cable. It has gone like this. So this one and another hard disk is here. So these cables are essentially powering your hard disk. So unless you connect them, they won't get power. So make sure that you connect your power cable also. So with this, I think we are done. So we have connected our motherboard, we have connected, CPU 24 pin, and then our GPU and hard disk. So let's start it and see how it goes.
All right, so I have turned it on and lights are on, so it's looking better. You can see these LED lights here. So yeah, I mean, everything looks fine. Let's uh, turn on the CPU. So far so good. Fans have started. So yeah, I mean, it's a good news, it's working. So basically that's how you install your power unit in any desktop. As I said earlier, be very careful with the wires, especially if you are doing a replacement. Make sure that you are connecting your motherboard, all the ports there, then GPU if you have, and other units, components. So if you have any question, please leave your comment. Thank you.